January 28th, 3 a.m. I had just finished editing this video.
My eyes are cooked. I unplug my brain from my skull and try and relax when all of a sudden,
I hear this silly bang outside, right in front of my house here, and I knew what it was. No one else was parked where I was, and that sound was too loud for it to be anything else.
I get out of bed and peek out the window of the living room. The driver's car is still bodied onto mine. They didn't flee the scene.
I've had some people tell me I would have cursed her out. I would have been so mad. I'm pretty chill, and the only thing I was thinking was, yo, am I about to be free from my car payments? Shit. What a complicated situation that turned out to be.
I go grab my coat, and perhaps a minute later, honorary driver comes up and knocks on the door. A woman in her early 30s, absolute crying mess, bundle of stress.
Now right here at the doorway, she mentions that she wants to pay for the damages out of pocket. And how awesome would it have been if that came into fruition?
We go towards our cars, and again, she's saying how she's been going through so much and that she wants to pay for it herself. And within 3 minutes of stepping out of my home, the freaking cops show up.
They ruined my date. Here I am alone with this woman that wants to pay for my car damages out of pocket, allegedly. And then fucking police force, man.
Turns out someone in the area reported a car crash. Looks like I wasn't the only one that heard the bang.
Seeing her do the heel-to-heel test was embarrassing to see. It truly was a train wreck to witness.
So she gets arrested. Witnessing a live-action arrest was a movie.
See what I did there?
After hanging with the cops for a bit, I go inside cause bro, I was shivering like a mofo. Code Rain was not it. Her Honda some shit gets towed and I keep my baby girl at the scene of the crime. Fill out my claim with my insurance, and because it was a Sunday, nothing happened.
What a horrible day for that to happen. A drunk driver swipes the rear of my car and ends up diagonal in the middle of the road. At 3:20 a.m., I'm so glad I was awake. During the claims process, I had to pick a collision repair shop. So,
on January 29th, Monday, I get a call that one of their homies is gonna tow the car to the shop. Awesome, we're moving quick.
My claims adjuster was pretty cool. She responded to everything that I said in a timely manner, and I just really appreciated that. So shout out to Taylor.
I'm antsy all day, waiting to hear the report about the condition of my car. Everyone was saying it's gonna be totaled. Tuesday, January 30, my car is declared a total loss. A representative will be reaching out to me to discuss further details. Thank you, Taylor. Wednesday, January 31. I leave my second set of keys with the repair shop and give my plates to the DMV.
And this is where the story starts to derail so freaking hard for no freaking reason. And it makes the story so much harder to write because during the moment I memorized these dates and these details because I was just so obsessed and maniacal about my accident that I knew when everything took place. But since it's been a while, I had to go through emails, texts, and calls to find everything.
It had been quite the long day. It was my mom's birthday, so we went out to eat. Towards the afternoon, my total loss representative, let's call him Wheeler, gives me a call at approximately 3:28 p.m.
By this point, I had closed my eyes for about 2 to 3 minutes, and with my phone on silent, I missed this man's call. He called me a second time, a minute later at 3:29 p.m. And then the BS where you call somebody back that has just called you and they don't pick up occurs. Because 3 minutes later at
Cause I opened my eyes and called him 3 minutes later at 3:32 p.m. and nothing. So I play the waiting game.
And call the next day at 11:59 a.m. And then again at 2:59 p.m. to nothing. This man Wheeler didn't call me 2 days later from his original call after I raised awareness and reached out to Taylor about this man's disappearance. She gave me his direct number and email, and she herself also sent him an email that I was trying to contact him. Her last message was at 10:28 a.m. And then at 10:33 a.m.,
Wheeler calls me. The man himself makes a freaking cameo finally. Now, I wish this was the end of it. Everything could have finished right here and then. What his job was to communicate my settlement.
The money I would receive from insurance for losing the car. If anybody watched my last video, I mentioned that I dug deep into the crevices of Reddit for people's first-hand experiences with a total loss. The gist of it is, first, people in claims take ages and years, decades, centuries, millennia to respond. And second, they find comparable vehicles within a radius of your area, apply some computations, average it out, and then give you your settlement value. You are allowed to submit a counteroffer with evidence to back up your proposed settlement. But before we even get into that whole thing, let's finish up February 2nd. February?
You ever heard of the show Ridiculousness? Wheeler is the definition of that word. He gives me the details of my settlement and tells me I need to sign a bill of sale in order to transfer ownership of the vehicle to them. He asked me if I would prefer it through email or mail, in which they provide a pre-stamped envelope.
When did this flip? Obviously, I want the stamp, so I say yes to the mail. I then ask him if I could receive a copy of the valuation report, and he says, of course, it's included. He assured me I would receive it. The call ends. I was offered a lower than appreciated amount of money for the settlement, and when he told me the figure, he stayed quiet for about 5 to 8 seconds, probably expecting me to fight. Now, I had some fight in me, but I needed that report to see what numbers they were working with.
And I wait an hour for the valuation report and nothing. Sitting in despair, I send him an email with the assumption that he thought I meant that I wanted the valuation report sent through physical mail. Minor mishap, we can let it slide. Remember I said he's ridiculousness? Let's review so far. Dude despawned after I called him back after 3 minutes, dodged 4 calls over 2 days, and only called me after hearing from a fellow worker, and was not going to email the valuation report.
And sent the report in 7 different PDFs for these 7 individual pages. Now, I think life is very funny, and this is just a prime example of why I say that. Now, if you're interested, I'll go over the report with y'all. I'm just going to summarize the key details. Car in question, 2023 Hyundai Elantra Hybrid Blue. Mileage, 22,007. Yes, it is insane, I know. Car number 1, 41 miles away with 8,445 miles with an adjusted price of $21,999.56. Car number 2, 23 miles away, 4,069 total miles, $22,439.46. And last, car number 3, 59 miles away, 1,634 total miles for $22,257.58, giving my vehicle's base value of $22,242.20. I gotta use the bathroom. From that base value, we add New Jersey's sales tax and minus my $750 insurance deductible, which was eventually paid back to me from the at-fault insurance, for a settlement value of $22,955.08.
So $23K was not an ideal settlement for me, considering I had a $5K gap between that and the loan, and I had done my own prior research to what my car was going for. I checked my paperwork for the car, and I had 2 warranties, a forced non-cancelable $1,700 paint protection and a cancelable $700 tire and wheel protection I opted for. I called my loan bank via the contract's recommendation to try and cancel, was told to go to the dealership.
Looking back, I gotta give the insurance company some props though. Plymouth Rock, I found them through one of those quote service sites where they pull a lot of different companies and they give you numbers. They were my cheapest one for full coverage. The accident was on Sunday. It was towed on Monday, declared a total loss on Tuesday, and by Wednesday, albeit the bozo didn't pick up the call when I called him back 3 minutes later, the valuation settlement was freaking ready that day. So in 3 days, man, and it cleared me up.
I could have been done and complete with this chapter early on, but let's get into the fuckery.
February 3rd, Saturday, I head to the dealership. I sign and cancel the remaining $700 warranty for a prorated refund. Please remember this. Fucking warranties, man. Just remember this, okay? I come home and cook up my counteroffer for a higher settlement. Car number 1, 5 miles away, 14,000 total miles, $26,998. Car number 2, 4 miles away, 7,000 total miles, $25,998. Car number 3, 5 miles away, 33,000 total miles, $23,998. And car number 4, the closest resemblance, home delivery, 22,869 miles, $24,990. Closer cars, more miles, and more expensive. These hosts and try to do some diddly squat on me. So I emailed Wheeler this document with a paragraph of my reasoning. They had also listed my car as not having wheel locks, which it did, Not too big of a deal as it was only about $100 taken off, but I wanted to cover all my bases. On this day, I also canceled my insurance policy that had just finished paying off completely the week prior. This concludes Saturday, February 3rd. Tuesday, February 6th. Me, just emailing to confirm if you received my email from February 3rd. Wheeler, good afternoon. It doesn't appear to have been scanned in yet. It could have been received by the mail room and we are just waiting for it to be scanned in and processed. Did you mail it priority or regular mail? Thanks, Wheeler.
Mail.
Me, I'm referring to the electronic mail I sent you this past Saturday. Wheeler, yes, I did receive the email. I will take a look at everything you sent. Me, great. Just wanted to confirm. Monday, February 12th. Me, good morning. Last time we spoke, you had to forward my information to your supervisor, and I'm wondering if there's been an update with the settlement. Wheeler, good afternoon. No update as of yet. I am hoping to have the revised value by tomorrow. I will reach out either way with an update. Thanks, Wheeler. Me, sounds good. Speak to you soon.
Believe it or not, that was the last time I heard from my total loss representative. Mine! Working with me on this case. That's it, gone.
Tuesday, February 13th.
Here's your check from Plymouth Rock Assurance for $886.
Wednesday, February 14th. Me, hope everything is going well. Wednesday, February 21st.
And this was pretty funny of me. Some people didn't think I'd actually say this.
Me, good morning. It's been a little over a week since I have heard from you. I'm trying to be reasonable with reaching out and hope you're still employed at Plymouth Rock. We are nearing almost a month since the initial accident, and I'm looking forward to wrapping this up as we're so close to the end of the process. So from emailing my own report on February 3rd to my last communication attempt on February 1st, this situation was expanded an extra 3 weeks when everything was pretty much seemingly resolved in 3 days.
This was a pretty stupid saga, just waiting daily for a response and reading tons of Reddit experiences and stories, and along the way I kept seeing people recommend a complaint to the Department of Insurance.
Friday, February 23rd. I reached out to Taylor again, saying it's been over 10 days since I last spoke to Wheeler and if she was able to redirect me to someone else. The ding-dong wasn't even in office for God knows how long and gave me his supervisor's email and number. I emailed her immediately and then called. No response. Monday, February 26th, 3:11 p.m. After not hearing from Tweedledee or Tweedledum,
I'm joking though, Lauren the supervisor is awesome.
I followed Reddit's advice and filed a complaint against my insurance company to the Department of Banking and Insurance. LOL. This was something I was trying to avoid as it seemed pretty drastic to get a state department involved, but I had been completely ghosted.
And amazingly enough, 26 minutes later,
we have written to the licensee and directed them to provide us with a written report. Your concerns are important to us and we will do our best to address the matter as quickly as possible and keep you informed. Tuesday, February 27th.
I'm about to play D&D with my family. I'm at the table and I receive a call and I recognize the call, well, the area from when Wheeler would call me, so I leave the table and I just pick up the phone immediately. His supervisor, Lauren, had a talk with me. She reviewed my document, apologized a billion times about the delay in the process, looked up other comparable vehicles herself, and gave me a boosted $2,577.98 settlement offer of $25,533.06. An extra $2,500? Dude, I was ecstatic. I was elated. A 10-ton plate was removed from my chest.
Thursday, February 29th. Finally being satisfied with their offer, I signed and mailed the bill of sale.
Lauren was amazing. I would respond almost instantly to all my messages and kept reassuring me that if I had any sort of question, to contact her immediately.
Thursday, March 7th. I received these messages that the payout was issued. A week of despair waiting. I hated weekends and how they interrupted the flow of business days, but the bulk of my battle was finally over.
Now my attention turns to the $750 deductible I must be paid by the at-fault insurance. Friday, March 8th, I contact his supervisor.
Monday, March 11th. She responds and tags a subrogation representative. Subrogation is the reimbursement request to the other insurance after your insurance has paid you, essentially. Tuesday, March 12th. We are waiting for salvage to be sold. Once that is resolved and as long as our demand is under $25,000, we can issue your deductible refund. I will notify you once we can issue your deductible to you. Which I think the insurance paid me the extra money out of their pockets because my settlement was $25,533, and that's clearly over the $25,000 liability limit. They had kept their demand from the drunk driver's insurance at the original $22.9K settlement.
I had actually found my car at an auction site, and I had seen prior cars sit through 2 auctions, which they had once a week, so I had a feeling this was going to take 2 billion years, and I felt irritated at this debauchery.
This is my last time speaking to anyone at insurance.
Thursday, March 21st. 9 days later, we issued your $750 deductible to you today as direct deposit. It should be in your account within 1 to 3 business days.
The car hadn't been sold yet, which was weird, but hey, we secured another victory. The finish line was right there. Right there. Insurance settlement paid. Deductible paid. Now on some Dora shit, do you remember what's left? Did you say the warranty refund that I canceled on February 3rd, 1 month and 18 days prior? I was initially told that I'd receive a check in the mail in 30 days. I also read that these can take up to 8 weeks, these processes. So I decided to be patient. I'm a sport, I'm a team player. And I wait. At this point, it had been 6 weeks and 5 days, so I'll stretch out that last week.
Monday, April 1st. I reach out to the dealership thinking they pocketed the money or something.
I get in contact with somebody from the dealership. Lovely lady, Debbie. We're name dropping the good people and we're changing the name of the fucking demon. She reaches out to the accounting department and nothing.
Tuesday, April 2nd.
Debbie calls me for an update. They had mailed out the check to the bank that financed my loan on March 27th. F you, Citizens One, with your laggy ass, outdated, buggy ass website integrated into an app.
Saturday, April 6th.
I call the bank and they have no clue about this payment. I hit up Debbie again, a bit mad in my words, but I do let her know that she's being an excellent person through all of this, okay? I ask for a copy of the voided check, that way I can go in person to the branch near me and speak with a real person. She has to hit up the warranty administrator.
Tuesday, April 9th.
Debbie hits me up that the check that was sent out on March 27th has finally been cashed in. She sends me a copy of the voided check and the demand letter from the bank. Dealership saga closed. Okay, we move on to the bank now. I see the demand letter is from a law firm, which is weird. I send them an email and then I book an appointment with the bank to speak with the branch manager.
Friday, April 12th. My car finally sold at the auction. Monday, April 15th. I have my appointment with the branch manager and she doesn't recognize the law firm. She calls their number, no one picks up. I call them, leave 2 messages, no callbacks. The payment still doesn't pop up on their end.
This check is gone and lost to the void and nobody's picking up. I was given some options on how to proceed and I took the give it another week route.
Tuesday, April 16th.
Branch manager calls me saying that the check is now in status. I could see an update at the end of the week or next week.
Friday, April 19th.
I noticed the check clears, dated for April 18th. Citizens stopped handling claims about 2 years ago, I think the branch manager said. It took 10 weeks and 6 days after cancellation and 3 weeks after the check was cashed or sent out for me to see it.
Tuesday, April 23rd.
My final payment processes. From my loan balance starting January 28th, minus settlement, deductible, and warranty, I only paid an extra $1,073 out of pocket to kill off the loan. And that's the story. 12 weeks and 1 day of hell. I had a disappeared representative, Department of Insurance involvement, and a despawned check.
On Monday, the day before, I placed a deposit on my next car and a week later on April 29th, I had it. The timing was impeccable. I learned a lot over the last 3 months. Claims people suck at communicating. I get they're overworked, but I never heard from Wheeler ever again after triple emailing him. Wonder what he's up to now. I learned how to properly present a counteroffer for a total loss settlement. Learned more about coverages and how to maneuver through some dealership fees.
I find it strange that my insurance company started actually doing their jobs after I submitted a day after the complaint to the Department of Insurance. Why did I have to get a branch of the government involved for you guys to actually do what you're being employed for? But my soul was evaporated. It is the freaking 5th month of the year. May is my birth month. I wasted my second half of 24 and the first third of 2024. But above all else, I lost the creativity and passion that I once had for this channel. All the stresses and internal anxieties and initial depression weighed on me so much. Once I was fully clear of everything, I made my dealership video and now I'm making this one. They go hand in hand more or less, and now that I've profited creatively off these experiences in the form of videos, I can finally let go. This was a journey and I couldn't not make something out of it. If I could change one thing, I would have only removed my vehicle off my insurance policy. Because now, since I've had over 31 days not being insured, the rates are through the roof and only 2 companies want to insure me for now.
Things are getting better now, and it's time to uplift myself out of this rut and find that spark again. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'm closing the book on this one.
Oh yeah, I realized I never showed photos of the car, and so I brought myself to this beautiful ass view because I need peace, I need tranquility. But yeah, check this out. Here I'm throwing up, I think 3 photos up on the screen. She's busted. She was a hybrid, and dude, last summer she went up to like 580 miles, but she's gone now. And I'll quickly show my new car. I don't like showing material possessions, and it's not even mine yet, it's financed, so there's no point in showing it off. Here's to some great shit in life.